Snakes are ambush predators, often striking before their prey even realizes it. In some venomous snake species, the venom can take effect after just a few minutes, causing nervous system paralysis or rapid tissue destruction. With just one bite, the amount of venom pumped out is enough to render the prey defenseless in a very short time. No pursuit is needed. Everything depends on the timing and accuracy of the strike. Welcome to the terrifying moments of snake hunting that you will find hard to believe your eyes. Bushmaster versus rat. The Bushmaster is the longest pit viper species in the world, capable of reaching up to 4 meters. It is the largest venomous snake in the Western Hemisphere. Their heads have a very broad triangular shape, containing massive venom glands. The human mortality rate when bitten by a Bushmaster without antivenom is very high, nearly 80%. No warning rattles, no flamboyant colors. The Bushmaster hides itself under the leaf litter like a chemical bomb waiting to explode. With 5 centimeters long fangs and enough venom to wipe out dozens of lives, it is not just hunting, it is executing a death sentence. When the heat-seeking radar locks onto the target, all escape efforts become meaningless before this sullen lord. The enzymes attack the blood vessel walls, causing the rat's blood pressure to plummet uncontrollably. The blood cannot clot, leading to a state of comprehensive internal bleeding. The small backward curving teeth in the snake's mouth act like a one-way ratcheting system, pulling the rat into the esophagus without the need for limbs. Rattlesnake versus rat. The rattlesnake is one of the most famous, highly venomous snakes in the world, belonging to the viper family. They are considered the symbol of death of the deserts and swamps in North and South America. Not only possessing extremely potent tissue necrotizing venom, this reptile also carries a hypersensitive thermal radar and a unique mechanical rattle tail. Every vibration of the tail is not only a firm threat, but also a testament to a highly sophisticated evolutionary masterpiece of nature. They have 2 small pits located between the eyes and the nostrils, containing membranes sensitive to infrared rays. This system allows them to detect warm-blooded prey in the dark with absolute precision, even when the prey is standing still. And there will be no timely escape. Hemotoxin, a type of blood toxin that destroys tissues, blood vessels, and causes a condition of severe internal hemorrhage. Death adder versus lizard. Sometimes, silence is exactly the most terrifying weapon in the wild. Unlike high-speed predators, the death adder chooses for itself the dark art of ambush. The rough scales help the assassin turn perfectly invisible amidst the dust and sand, patiently biding its time. A lizard strolls closer, completely blind to the trap already set. At this moment, a sophisticated biological tactic called caudal luring is activated. This rhythmic movement perfectly simulates a plump, wriggling larva. The cruel optical illusion has completely deceived the lizard's vigilant instinct. Craving overpowers reason. It steps toward the inviting feast without realizing it is walking itself into the realm of death. When the distance reaches a perfect level, the trap snaps shut. Spotted black snake versus ring-necked snake.
Take their heads off first and then eat
Fourth
them.
of a centimeter.
The spotted black snake locks the victim tight, clearing the way to swallow from the top of the head in order to completely strip the opponent's ability to orient and turn around.
He just hasn't got it all the way.
The ring-necked snake inherently carries venom in both its rear fangs and neck glands, a biological weapon accumulated from its very own toxic meals.
Gary, stop.
It's kind of amazing how they don't choke on anything.
However, the spotted black snake's stomach is a transcendent processing machine, instantly decomposing all toxic protein structures as soon as the food slides down the edge of the esophagus.
Not right now. Let's watch this.
Man, he's got a lot in there. You can tell by the thickness.
Even though not as massive as giant python species, this snake species holds the record for relative constricting force.
He was eating a Yeti.
What?
Yeah.
In proportion to body size. It braids its coils tight, compressing the chest, causing the opponent's circulatory system to collapse completely before starting the feast.
He's burying his head.
Mangrove snake versus King Cobra. The mangrove snake carries within it an amount of venom concealed in its rear fangs. However, this weapon is completely useless against machines specialized in massacring their own kind. Conversely, the King Cobra possesses front venomous fangs, accompanied by the ability to pump a terrifying amount of neurotoxin 20 times that of ordinary snakes. Confronting them means facing a death sentence. When the bloodthirsty instinct rises, all attacks by the King Cobra do not have the concept of mercy. The strength and speed of the ruler are absolute dominance. It clamps tight, using a grinding chew technique to pin its fangs deeper, injecting the poison completely into the victim's neural network. Patiently waiting for the opponent to be completely paralyzed, the assassin then expands its jaw joints, slowly swallowing the prize whole. Under the decaying leaf carpet, a king is leisurely swallowing its own kind. The ticks densely attached to the top of its head expose the harsh parasitic law of nature. In the wild, even the most authoritative emperors cannot evade microscopic enemies. The wise parasites always target the head area, eye sockets, or under the neck scale folds, positions with the thinnest skin texture and most abundant capillaries. Every time the king cobra expands its neck skin to swallow a giant prey down, the gap between the scale layers will pop open. That is exactly the fatal doorway for the tick swarm to plunge their feeding tubes deep into the blood vessels. Snake versus horned lizard. Ironically, the one who sows death to all species is enduring the second-by-second torment of tiny creatures. Amidst the arid fiery pan, an egg-eating snake is strolling to find prey.
Interfere with them.
Nearby, the female horned lizard still steadfastly holds her ground by the nest. Despite her small stature, what she is using her life to protect is an entire future generation. When death closes in, the mother does not immediately flee. She proactively lunges out valiantly, aiming to break the enemy's attack rhythm, even though this strike is not enough to turn the tide. Immediately, she activates the peak defensive state, playing dead. The heartbeat and breathing are forced down to an absolute silent level.
The patch is no match for this kind of aggression.
In the cruel wild, counterattacking is not always the best policy.
And she can tell the difference.
Can strike from over 3 feet.
King Cobra versus Rattlesnake. Deep beneath the tropical rainforest canopy, the boundary between life and death is extremely fragile. A king cobra individual is sullenly patrolling its kingdom. The forked tongue continuously flicks, analyzing chemical molecules and collecting every most subtle vibration from the environment. On the opposite side, the rat snake carries a stubborn and reckless nature. Firm muscle bundles diligently glide across the decaying leaf carpet to scour for food. While the rat snake is still completely ignorant, the superlative olfactory receptors of the king cobra have already locked onto the target's coordinates early on. Odor particles in the air implicitly signal that the prey is very near. The fatal distance coldly narrows with every... Suddenly, a lightning-fast fang strike rains down. The king cobra plunges its deadly weapon into the opponent's body. The process of swallowing the victim exposes the perfect combination of precise physiological mechanisms and brutal instinct. Utilizing the skillful jaw walking technique, combined with a special trachea that can protrude outward to maintain the breathing rhythm, the king leisurely brings the lengthy meat roll into its stomach.
The South American Bushmaster.
What you have just watched shows that in the snake's world, the advantage does not lie in size, but in the ability to strike at the right time.
That's important.
And just a small deviation is enough to completely change the outcome. Every hunt is a precise calculation, where the opportunity usually only appears once.
Man, he's got a lot in there.
If you
can tell
find
by
this
the-
video fascinating, hit like, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring many other wild moments.
Strike from over 3 feet
Thank you for watching until the end. See you again in the next video.